talking about the elections date and saying how we got it wrong.
Yeah.
You know, on this election date issue, one thing that I must tell anybody who wants to participate in this debate, the Constitution says that the elections shall be held in the 5th year. In.
Yes.
Second Tuesday of August in the 5th year. Basic reading of that alone tells you that there is nowhere that someone should serve for the entire 5 years, then you do it.
Yes.
Because if you do it outside the 5 years, then it's outside the 5th.
It's
outside.
after the fifth
The
year.
Constitution says you do it in the 5th year. So the quest in understanding the next elections date is purely to only look at when does the 5th year begin and when does it end.
Yes.
Then inside that 5th year, inside it,
Yes.
look for the second Tuesday in August.
Yeah.
Although already says that we should look at Article 177.4,
Yeah.
which relates to MCAs.
MCAs
are the only
5
people
years.
who are given a 5-year term in the Constitution.
Yes.
But the same MCAs, when they've gone to court on several occasions to say that you've called elections before my 5-year term has expired, in Article 177.4.
Yeah.
The simpler answer the courts have given them is that the same Constitution has said that your elections shall be held with the other elections on the second Tuesday of August inside the 5th year, not after your 5-year term.
Yeah.
So we are sorry, but your elections must be held on the second Tuesday of August in the 5th year before your 5-year term expires. And you can also not use the argument of an MCA to buttress the argument for a president or a member of parliament or a governor who has not been given a similar term in office.
Yeah, the other majority of the officers
Have not been given the 5-year term. That Article 177.4 only applies to MCAs.
Yes.
But I've also told you, the courts have told them, yes, you have a 5-year term, but the elections is independent of your term in office.
Yes.
Your elections must be conducted on the second Tuesday of August inside the 5th year. And the 5th year, for good measure, runs from the 9th of August 2026 as the beginning, and it ends on the 8th of August 2027. So inside that 5th year, find your second Tuesday in August. And some people also have a misconception that it is the 2nd August. No.
It is the
So
second
you don't
Tuesday.
look for the 1st August in the 5th year, then the 2nd August in the 5th year. No. You look for the second Tuesday in August. What you're looking for is the second Tuesday in August. Inside the 5th year. Inside the 5th year, we have several Tuesdays. So choose the first Tuesday, leave it. Then you pick the second
Tuesday of August.
But
Udoye was saying that that year has 2 Augusts.
No, what you do, you are looking for the second Tuesday or the 2nd August, not the 1st August. So take all the Tuesdays in August, list them all. First Tuesday, second Tuesday, third Tuesday, 5th Tuesday, 4th Tuesday, 5th Tuesday, 6th, whichever. Then you say the first one out. Second one is the relevant one. So you're not looking for the 2nd August. You're looking for the second Tuesday.
In that August.
August. So although we think that you're looking for the 2nd August, no. It is the second Tuesday in August. The second Tuesday of August inside the 5th year. So take the 5th year, as I've told you, from 9th of August 2026 to 8th of August 2027. Look for all the Tuesdays that fall within there in the month of August. You list them. This is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one, this is the fourth one. In fact, the one Tuesday that falls in the year 2027 will be the 3rd of August, which falls will be somewhere on the 5th or 6th Tuesday of August.
In that year.
It cannot be the first one. Okay? So the elections must be held inside the 5th year and on the 2nd Tuesday of August inside that 5th year. This is a matter that is closed.
Yeah.
Raila Odinga's lawyers filed grounds of opposition to the petition. And they are saying that the court should not exercise jurisdiction, should not hear this matter.
Yeah, it has been heard severally before.
That has been heard severally. Number one,
yeah.
what we must note is that nobody has ever gone to court on the date of the next general elections.
Yes.
So what they are referring to, the previous cases, were not challenging the next general elections. They were challenging those other elections. Okay?
Yes.
So it is not a live matter. It has not been conducted. What in law we call the course of action. Those ones were for those dates, those years. Now we are doing a fresh course of action. Every election cycle comes with its fresh course of action. That's number one. Number two, even if you look at the authorities they've submitted, there were cases largely filed by MCAs who are claiming the 5-year term.
5 years.
And the courts were saying, yes, you have a 5-year term, but your election must be conducted on the second Tuesday of August in the 5th year. You are not going to serve for 5 years, then we do elections.
Yes.
That is the principle. So also with the president and the others, we are not going to wait for you to serve for 5 years, then you do your elections. Your elections are done inside the 5th year before the 5 years have expired. That is what the laws provides. And we must make a conscious decision that we are a country that believes in the rule of law. Holding an election outside of the 5th year is treasonous because you're trying to establish a government in a manner not prescribed in law. That in law we call an act of treason. And there should be consequences to it. So we do hope that all these arguments will be considered. And the court will uphold fidelity to the Constitution and the law. The Attorney General also put a grounds of objection, and largely the issues they've raised, they are saying that this matter, again, just like Raila Odinga, this matter is res judicata, it has been heard before. There is no case that has had this issue before. As I've said, this is a fresh course of action. Then the Attorney General also has argued that this matter amounts to trying to seek an advisory opinion of the Supreme Court. No, we are not seeking an advisory opinion. The case is seeking an interpretation and application of the Constitution. It's not an advisory that give us advice, no. We are telling the court to make an order that settles this question
once and for all.
Once and for all. And to primarily even open up the people's eyes on how to count years. But more importantly, to reawaken the people from their slumber. That where they think that somebody is elected as president to serve for 5 years. It does not exist. There is no 5-year term in our legal framework today for a president, a member of parliament, a governor. But if you walk on the streets, there is a popular misconception that you are elected to serve for 5 years. It does not exist. So this is not a matter that you can say we are seeking an advisory. It's not an advisory. It is a matter of enforcement of the Constitution. So we must adhere to the constitutional dictates.
And talking about the Attorney General, the country's seal was recently speculated to have been taken to the office of the government spokesperson from where it should be according to the Constitution, which is the office of the Attorney General. And initially the spokesperson denied the issue, then after that he came and later accepted. What do you think is are some of the dire consequences that might come with this?
You know the public seal is established in the Constitution. It's a seal that is created by the Constitution. And a seal is what you use to bind in a document. You use it to bind a document, to say now this is our commitment. It what signifies now the authority of the state on a document. And the chief legal advisor, as per our Constitution, is the Attorney General. And in the office of the Attorney General's Act, Parliament vested the responsibility of the holder of that office to be the Attorney General. because he's the one who ultimately looks at all documents signed by government, all commitments to be signed by government, and places the seal to give the final seal of approval that this or now the Kenya government wants it. The attempt to transfer this seal to an office called the Head of Public Service, HOPS.
Yes.
To begin with, the office of Head of Public Service is not an office established in our constitution. It is not established in our constitution. It doesn't exist. Number two, it is not an office established by an act of parliament. It is not a statutory office. That office of HOPS is merely a creation of an executive order. The president organizing who will serve him tea, who will arrange the room, who will help him to execute in his functions. That is the executive order that establishes the office of HOPS. And to that extent, that office cannot usurp or take away functions of office holders established in the constitution and by acts of parliament. Because it is merely an administrative assistance to help the president to execute his functions. Those functions given to the president. You cannot now start saying, now I'm the head of public service, I'm taking the public seal to keep in my office. I am now the head of public service, I am taking over the responsibilities of IEBC, which are in the constitution. Or I'm now taking over the responsibilities of the executive, of the judiciary. Set out. No. That office is not a statutory office. And anybody who attempts to give it statutory functions or assign it functions that are already assigned to statutory or constitutional offices, that is illegal. Okay? We must make that very clear. And what we should be asking ourselves is, what was in the mind of the person who took away the seal from the AG and tried to take it to HOPS? Knowing very well the importance of the seal and its role in binding the Kenyan state in entering contracts. Did somebody want to enter contracts illegally? Because in law, what we always ask is, what is the state of mind? You must inquire into the state of mind, the criminal mind of the person.
What was he thinking?
What was he thinking?
What was he planning?
What was he planning to do with this seal? That he wants to take it away from the Attorney General. What did he want to use it for?
The intention.
The intention. Which document did he want to sign? Did he want to sign that document and exclude the Attorney General? Okay? That was a criminal attempt. And we must condemn it. That public seal must remain with the Attorney General, because ultimately, when a document is thrust on Kenyans, we will ask, did the Attorney General render a considered legal opinion? Not just a legal opinion, a considered legal opinion before he affixed the public seal on that document to bind the people of Kenya. The head of public service does not have a responsibility to render considered legal opinions on anything. How then do you house a public seal in such an office? Then they may start stamping documents, sealing documents without considered legal opinions and committing the Kenyan people on contracts that are illegal, that are not done in a manner that is meant to further the interest of the people of Kenya. So we must condemn it. And the Attorney General needs to speak up and say, no, I'm the holder of the seal.
And I have it.
And I have it here, and I'm the one using it. If people in the HOPS office wants to use it, they can come to me. We will look at the document. I render considered legal opinion. Then I will seal. Anything short of that is theft. Theft of government issues. So that's a government issue. And we must condemn it. Yes.
And as we almost come to the end, we are going back to the 2026 election. We are seeing Safina Party actually coming up and forming each and every day. Suppose this election is called in 2026. Is Safina Party ready to face the man?
Safina Party is very ready. Safina Party.
It's less than a year.
The election is next year, in August.
Yes.
Safina Party is very ready. We believe we've defined the question of the election.
Yes.
We've been able to identify what is the key issue that is affecting the people of Kenya. And in Safina Party, the key issue affecting the people of Kenya is called economy. And in our minds, We've left. We've said William Ruto is gone. Ruto must go. One term is gone. So what next?
Yes.
That is where our state of mind is.
After he has gone.
After he has gone, what next?
Yes.
And the what next is, how do we relieve the economic pain that the Kenyan people are going through? And we are very clear.
Yes.
The number one cause of pain to the people of Kenya is called odious debt. And this debt that is illegal, we've said as Safina Party we will not pay it. Once we don't pay this odious debt,
Yes.
we will not have an appetite to increase your taxes.
Yeah.
In fact, we will reduce some of those taxes.
Yes.
Reducing them because now there is no need to come and raid your pockets to pay the illegal debt.
Yes.
We are primarily focused that we will not borrow from the domestic market. The banks which are holding your deposits,
Yes.
the money that they have, they will come begging you to take loans.
Yeah.
And when the private sector, the individual is able to access loans, what can't this individual do? Kenyans have great ideas.
Yeah.
What they lack is access to capital. Today they cannot access borrowing because the government is borrowing in the domestic market at high interest rates, 14-15%.
Yeah.
The individual goes to the market, he's told 20%.
Yeah.
He can't do anything. Even if he was given a loan, you're right there, that's an unperforming loan, you're going to be auctioned. That is why auctioneer pages are full.
Yeah.
And still people can't buy. Why? They have no purchasing power. Safina Party is primarily focused on economic liberation. We want to back the Fourth Republic
Yeah.
of the people of Kenya.
Yeah.
That Fourth Republic will be about giving the Kenyan people their economic rights.
Yeah.
We have fought, Raila Odinga and the champions of second liberation.
Yeah.
They fought and delivered the constitution.
Yes.
That constitution solidified our political rights. It was done.
Yeah.
The focus now is our economic rights, economic liberation.
Yeah.
And Safina Party, we've offered ourselves as the champions
Yeah.
of that fight. And we understand that the chains of slavery
Yeah.
stopping us from growing, holding us back from achieving our potential,
Yeah.
is that illegal debt, number one primary chain.
Yeah.
We must cut it off and let our people free. Let my people
Free.
go. The Bible says, let my people
Go. Yes.
We must unshackle ourselves from the shackles of economic oppression.
Yeah.
Let my people go.
And with that, you are sure after 4 years, Kenyans will not say Jimmy must go.
Kenyans will say Jimmy must stay.